Hi guys, welcome to another video. Welcome traders. My name is Dima. It's Technical Tuesday. Thanks for joining me again. This is that time of the week. You know what time it is. As always, if you've been with me before, gonna have a recap of this week's shortlist and look at how the market is setting up and where the opportunities lie. Let's begin again with the calendar. Just update ourselves what's going on this week, today, tomorrow, so that we can prepare for the charts. Let's have a quick look. Here we are on the calendar. If you go to the website under economic calendar, you will see this. So we are on September the 12th, and what we've got today, nothing really major. We have had the pound news here. The major pound news hit earlier in the day at the beginning of London session, and for the rest of the day we don't really have anything major. We do have some minor news on the bond notes later in the day, but that's not really major. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we do have minor pound news again, and then the big one, the CPI from the US there. So that's on the dollar. That'll be one to watch for. There's some more medium news later in the day. However, the CPI is the major one. And then Thursday, what do we have? We have unemployment rate and yeah, again, on the dollar, initial jobless claims here. So we're going to watch out for that and prepare for that, because the major news is tomorrow. We had major pound news, and now for the dollar we have tomorrow and Thursday. Let's go back to the chart and see where we are at the moment. Here we are then. We've got our short list here, so let's go through it once again and begin with the dollar. We're expecting that bullish week, as you can see. That's what we were talking about. Here was the area, and it looks like we may be stalling here, about to produce a reversal. However, bearing in mind the news tomorrow, we don't want to be too early. We want to time it right as well. Therefore, it's a bit too early to tell. You can see no clear price action here on the dollar. We had a bit of a shift. However, it's not so clear. We're still kind of in a range. It's not that bullish. This could be a fake move. So let's see if we head higher. We do have the gap here. This was the expectation to go higher, and now that we have reached this low, let's see whether we do get another move lower and then we go higher, or we break above this level here and then head higher. So let's see how that reflects on the dollar based pairs, the major ones we looked at. So here's the one we looked at first, euro. And what do we have? Well, we were looking at this as a break, as an invalidation point, and we have broken through that. And what it looks like now that we've broken through it, we have now come back down below. So let's reevaluate and what's actually going on here. Well, we've broken through, but we are now coming back down and breaking a structure. So this structure low seems to be breaking. Now that it is breaking down, the ideal scenario would be a break of this low. However, we moved higher. Now that this is breaking down, you can also draw a trend line here if you like. Now that this is breaking down, it seems that we are actually going to the downside. So we have gone a bit higher. This becomes a new invalidation point, but we will only know that when we break and close below this swing low to confirm that we're going lower. Now the daily would be the best confirmation. We want to see a nice bearish candle to close below 50% halfway mark of this candle. That would be a very good confirmation. So if I take the fib and measure the body of the candle, here's the halfway mark, which we are below it at the moment. That would be the first sign. So if this is a bit too far away at the time, the other alternative would be something like so. now that we are reassessing what's going on. And then we will have a level here. So a break, pull back to get a better price, and continuing to the downside. We just remove this, the chart is cleaner, and that is what we look for. At the moment we are in this a little bit of a range here, so we do really want to see a nice push lower before thinking about heading downwards. But we are expecting dollar to be bullish still, and dollar is still holding its price, so therefore still bearish on the euro. Now that we've reassessed, we have gone beyond the point of invalidation, reassess again, and now this becomes the new invalidation point. New Zealand dollar, similarly, we have broken through that structure over here, coming back down, and now we are back into an uncertain phase. So the question is this a new high, or is this a new swing and invalidation point? Well, what we want to see is a break of a low, and this was the last low. And what we'll have is a break of this low, break of this low, pull back to a better price, and then we will have a level to look at, pull back, and then continue to the downside. However, it's not clear yet because, well, what's happening? You can see that we're creating higher highs and higher lows. Therefore, we have to account for the fact that the market may want to push higher, for example. We don't know if it wants to go higher and take out these highs, or if it's going to go lower. We're kind of in a no man's land, right? You can see that here. So, because of that, it's still too early to tell, too uncertain. We've passed our invalidation point, so let's wait for more confirmation. The best confirmation will usually come on the daily, and you can see at the moment the candles are bullish on the daily. We don't have any reversal. We want to see a bearish candle. So way too early to tell what's going on. And I'm gonna let this pass, gonna let this do its thing, and we'll see what CPI gives tomorrow, and it may be even clearer, not just after the CPI, but maybe even Thursday to wait for before making a decision. Next, let's go to dollar yen. So dollar yen here, we looked at a similar picture, a move lower and then head higher. And then what did we have here? Well, we broke through, once again, same thing, broke through our invalidation point, so now we have to reassess. This is not going to be of significance anymore, or this. We did look for a possibility for it to go higher, however that did not happen. We gapped and headed lower. So if we reassess this whole thing, what it now looks like is that if we take this low to the high, we can see that here's the halfway mark, here's the 62 level, and the area to watch out for now becomes here, as we have retraced lower. Now there becomes a few possibilities. We are kind of stuck in this big old range, and to really get a better price and a bit of clarity, we want to see a push lower, some kind of reversal, and then heading higher. If we don't do that, the other possibility is this level here. So the possibility may look like this. So if we head higher, give us nice big bullish for our candles, and then continue higher still. So if we go on the daily, you can see on the daily we're still weak from yesterday. We really want a break of this Monday candle. That would give us a much better confirmation of a break of structure, significant structure, and then we're going to go to the upside. It may be that the entry will be a little bit higher, not the optimal price. However, it's better to get a good clear price rather than the best price and a riskier one. That's the idea on the dollar. Once again, we're going to wait for CPI news. It's a little bit early to tell. There's no clear reversal. We have reached a cheaper price point. However, we may come down once again. At the moment, it's not quite clear It's a sort of, I mean, you could tell some people could look at it as a kind of a triangle pennant, whatever you want to call it. So either case, it's a ranging market, sideways market for now, at least in the short term. And there's no clarity yet. Yeah, that's dollar yen. All right, let's move on to CAD yen. CAD yen was another one we looked at, and let's see on the daily. Again, the daily picture gives a little bit more clarity. We had a big bullish candle. We marked down a validation point. Yesterday, Monday, was an inside bar, so looking for the continuation. However, there is no continuation yet and no price action. So what's the entry? Well, we don't know. I really wanted a much cleaner entry. We have nothing here because we're looking at this zone. We went right through the zone, or we were looking at the top side as the possibility, a reference point. Looking at where we are here, it's the same thing as with the dollar. It's sort of a squeeze, sort of a pennant, a triangle, whatever you like to call it. And we have not validated the setup below this low. And what that means is, once again, we really want to see a break and a close higher than the previous day. Go back to the 4 hour, and really want to see that push higher before thinking about a trade. So push higher here, and also close above here. That will be the second confirmation. A pullback, and then heading higher on the trend that we expect. So that is the idea for the CAD yen, and where we continue. A little bit too early to tell. We do have a little bit of yen news, not the most major news, but we do have yen news this week. That will be one to watch for. Typically, yen Asia pair happens at Asia when there is news, so expect the volatility in that time. And if you're not trading Asia, then we're going to look at London and maybe New York, and we'll see what the move, what price action gives when it comes to that, when we get there. Euro pound, interesting one. Euro pound already shifting. We do have euro and pound news early in the week. We had it earlier today, this morning, and believe yesterday, I think, as well. So here, what have we got here? Yep, we have our validation point that we looked at. Just quick look on the daily, just for clarity. Here was the turnaround. Here was the entry point that we looked at, and here was the next possibility there. Here's that area we shifted away from, and now we've broken high again. Another high broken. Now we've come back, retraced. This is what we were looking at, and this is indeed what we're having at the moment. And now it's waiting for another another shift in the market, another move bullish as expected on the euro pound. So you can see it stalled a little bit for a bit here, gave one more push lower, and then created this swing. So the new invalidation point becomes the new swing once we firmly clear these highs. Let's see, we do have pound news again tomorrow and euro news again on Thursday. As always, watch out for the calendar, and that will no doubt bring a little bit of volatility and perhaps a breakout of this range. Here's the next targets, clearly marked out. And that's the analysis for euro pound. If we break below and close below, break below here, then that's the invalidation point. And so far, this is what we see on euro pound. As expected, continuation bullish. So the analysis is playing out. Pound New Zealand, once again, have a quick look on the weekly. Here was our area that we were interested in, marked out, the invalidation point marked out. And looking on the daily, we are in this reversal zone. As you can see, we've had loads of down days. We have this wicks forming, and now we are expecting a reversal if the analysis is to be trusted. So we'll stick with that. At the moment, too early to tell. We have had pound news, and yeah, once again, there will be more news tomorrow. So let's see Wednesday and Thursday how it plays out if we get that reversal. And the next area to look for, this was our next high, so we'd like to see a break of this high, break of this structure, and a move higher. If we go below here, then we invalidate. So as always, it is a little bit early to tell at the moment, early in the week. This is what happens. Many times you may get trapped, you may get tricked and tempted to enter early, and as you can see, this looked like a double bottom or a area where the market moved away from. However, we did not get very big clear bullish candles. See how small these candles are compared to previous, like this bearish candle or this bullish candle here. And now that we are just popping out of this range, let's see if we get a reversal. That's the pound New Zealand update. Let's move on to oil. Let's look on the daily. Here we are on the daily. It seems that we are heading higher and higher, bullish and bullish on oil, and it's not going to give us that retracement lower. We're just heading higher. What do we do from here? Well, again, this looks like a wedge, a pennant, a bullish pennant, as whatever you like to call it. And as we are in this expensive price, there's no point to to be buying. The opposite would be the case. So the opposite scenario, if we don't have this idea, would actually be a reversal trade back into this level. And the reversal, because the dollar is so bullish, would need to see this level hit and then a breakdown, and then creating new swings in the market. This is just a possibility. At the moment, we're going to give it time to play out. That's just another scenario. So let's get rid of this. So either break higher through the level. What you can see is we do have a significant price point here, which is the 90 level. So that's a whole number. Whole numbers are something to pay attention to. Here we are, and that could be a reversal point because whole numbers are something that many traders pay attention to. That is if we get this kind of pattern and we break below structural levels. We have a breakdown, but that's really too early to tell at the moment. Yep, so that is oil. Let's see how it plays out. Too soon in my eyes for now. Lastly, gold. This is what we looked at on gold. We were looking for the breakdown with the dollar continuing higher. Once again, we haven't yet had the CPI news. That's tomorrow. Still too early to tell. You can see on the daily we are ranging. Not clear yet. Now we want to see a break of this low, because this is the low that was formed. This low, and then after that, breakdown, pulling back to a better price, and then continuing to the downside, which is the first significant low down here. Yeah, the moment it's a range breaking down, kind of waiting before the news. Typically, I think I've said it before in previous weeks, that before the news we do have ranging markets. It's typical to see that. Alright guys, so that is the breakdown for Tuesday. Waiting for the dollar news, and then the minor pairs, we are going to watch for them to play out as they are already. Okay, thanks very much for watching. Remember to check out the calendar on the website, and for more news, up-to-date news, up-to-date articles for what's happening in the markets on the site on a daily basis. Alright guys, thank you. See you on Thursday.